Frank shirt is your favorite?
Well, I don't know what wood or ice is, but I'm assuming it's good.
I'm ignoring the wood or ice from. I have no idea what that is either. If you guys know at home on Twitter, you can certainly tell us. I'm more of a cheesesteak fan.
I can tell he's from Pennsylvania because he calls them hoagies, which is not what we call it.
Is that a Pennsylvania thing?
It's not a Jersey thing.
What do you call them?
Subs.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like,
I don't know,
like a normal person.
Oh, okay, here we go. AJ with the rootbound crag, Frank with a force, and an elvish mystic to begin. There's a Mutavault, so he's going to get in for one. Mutavault means he does not have... He has a force and to catch Strangle Geist and stuff, but just a Scavenging Ooze is going to pass the turn back, so pretty good start.
Yeah, it doesn't have red mana. He does have a Huntmaster Fells in his hand, but doesn't have any red mana right now, so the powerhouses in his deck, which are Thundermaw and Hellkite, aren't going to be showing up anytime soon.
He's a little bit away from there. That and like a Hell Rider type card. You see Sacher has a Kessig Wolf run. It looks like he's going to play a Farseek. It smells like a Farseek, and it is.
There it is. Farseek comes down. Probably going to search for a black source to smooth out his mana.
He's got Woodland Cemetery in his hand, and he's got that. I mean, what he needs is a dual land, obviously, so those lands are going to come into play untapped, so he's going to get Overgrown Tomb and pass back. Kelly's going to draw his card, finds a Rootbound
There
Crag.
we go. That's important because now he can cast the Huntmaster in his hand and further develop his board a little bit. So he has a, with the Mutavault and Scavenging Ooze and the Elvish, he actually has a fair amount of power to put some pressure on AJ, but let's see if AJ has a Huntmaster of his own.
He's going to go with the Boar. Okay. Now, Boar is only going to be a 2/2 right now because there is no mountain in play, but he's going to come across for 5 points of damage, is Kelly.
I am surprised that he wouldn't just lead with the Huntmaster there, because if AJ plays a Huntmaster, then what is he going to do? He doesn't have any removal. The Huntmaster token can block at either of those creatures, and then if Frank plays his own Huntmaster, AJ can just pass the turn back and kill it.
Play the Huntmaster game, which we don't see as much anymore nowadays, but he'll be able to actually play it against Frank. You see AJ's going to play a Dragon Skull Summon, and there is Huntmaster of the Fells, as you mentioned. In comes the Wolf token. Sacher going to move up to 16. He's going to pass the turn back, and I agree with you. I think that Kelly is in some serious trouble right now if he doesn't have a removal spell for that Huntmaster of the Fells.
Yeah, because he doesn't have, that deck doesn't have a lot of reach in terms of closing games out, so you're only getting AJ down to 14 by casting that Flint of Boar, and the Flint of Boar has haste, so it can always attack later on. So, yeah, I would prefer to get that Huntmaster into play so you can actually gain the advantage with the Huntmaster games. But so it looks like he's going to play a Huntmaster this turn, or does he have a Thundermaw?
So he does have a Hell Rider. So that's pretty big. Stomping Grounds off the top there, a pretty big deal there for Kelly. He's going to be able to attack with 2 creatures, 2 triggers from the Hell Rider. Going to come in. This is going to force... Well, it's going to force.
I don't like attacking with both either, because you can just attack with the Flint of Boar, still get 1 trigger at least. And then I think AJ has to double block the Hell Rider and deal with it right away. So AJ will lose 1 of his creatures, but he'll take 3. He go down to 9, but he at least still has 1 guy in play, and then Thragtusk can come down to clean things up. So yeah, you have to get rid of the Hell Rider.
And you see Sacher just decide, okay, it looks like it's going to be a double block. I'm assuming it's going to be on Hell Rider. Huntmaster's going to bite the dust. I think we're going to see Hell Rider leave the battlefield here, and Sacher's going to go down to 11.
Yeah, you got so little value out of that Hell Rider.
Yeah.
Because you have 2 other creatures plus a Mutavault and a Huntmaster in your hand. Why wouldn't you try to generate a little more value with it?
Yeah, I'm with you on that one. See, Sacher slowly draws his card. It is not a Bonfire of the Damned, though he does have one in his hand that he can hardcast. Assuming he has a 5th land, which he does in Woodland Cemetery for 2, which would take care of would not take care of Scavenging Ooze. Yeah, he has Mystic up, so I take that back.
I like just playing the Thragtusk here. Thragtusk is pretty good at just holding off the fort.
I mean, I'm just a big fan of gumming up the board so that when you do draw that, because now Kelly has to keep extending things in the board, so when you actually do peel the Bonfire, it cleans up everything and you have stuff left over.
Yeah, if he ever gets to 7 mana, which could be just be 2 turns away, he'll be able to deal with almost everything except for Scavenging Ooze, which he has a Putrefy for anyway. So, yeah, I kind of like just holding back a little bit and just gumming up the board a little more.
Looks like Kelly drew a Rampager for the turn. Looks like he's going to fire up the old Mutavault here maybe and send everything into the red zone. Not quite sure. You saw him slide that Mutavault away from everything else, but he's going to have it hold back. I mean, he's doing things this way, lets him be able to Blood Rush a Gorkland Rampager and hardcast Huntmaster of the Fells if he'd like to this turn. Can also do some activating with the Scavenging Ooze as well. So you see Sacher going to put his elbows on the table and figure out what he wants to do on this turn.
Yeah, imagine how much better this turn is for you if you have a Hell Rider in play.
Yeah, it's actually just insane.
So AJ deciding what he's going to do. I think he has to imagine that Frank has a Gorkland Rampager here, and he's trying to decide what's the right block. I mean, if he has a Rampager, you don't really have a good block here.
Yeah,
unless you try to double
issue.
block. Unless you try to double block Scavenging Ooze.
Even then, if you double block Scavenging Ooze, you're dealing 5, 6, 7 points of damage
8,
to it.
and then it pumps up. Yeah, so you double block Flint of Boar then.
Yep, and so that's exactly what looks like Sacher's going to do. You're going to see Kelly is going to Blood Rush onto that. Some damage is going to get moved around here. You're going to see a Scavenging Ooze activation removing that Rampager.
And he still chooses not to get a Huntmaster into play. I'm surprised. I thought the whole reason to not attack with your Elf too was just so you can get that Huntmaster into play after combat.
I'm not in love with the balancing of resources here either, because like if you're not going to play Huntmaster, then you should be firing with the Mutavault, I think.
Yeah,
and,
if you're
And if you're not gonna fire with the Mutavault, then you can at least get another Scavenging Ooze activation here, removing the Hell Rider to make your guy bigger. So I'm not in love with the use of cards this game here by Kelly, because now he can't play Huntmaster, and it looks like he's missed an activation on Scavenging Ooze, so just the numbers aren't adding up correctly here. There's your Beast token for Sacher after his Thragtusk dying.
Yeah, and now AJ is in great shape because he has a Putrefy to deal with the Scavenging Ooze. He still has a Bonfire in his hand. He also has an Abrupt Decay too, so pretty good shape here for AJ.
Yeah, AJ feels like he's doing so well he might even attack with that Beast token this turn.
I wouldn't go for that attack just yet. I think you want to make sure that you can sequence everything correctly. You want to make sure that you can use an Abrupt Decay or Putrefy on the Mutavault. Keep that. Don't take any more damage. Don't expose yourself anymore to possibly Hell Rider.
See Sacher reaching for a land here. See, it looks like a Ravnica Duel's coming to play tapped in the form of Stomping Ground. And he is just going to put the brakes on still here pass.
He has Keswick Wolf Run, so I think if he wants to close the game out quickly, he can.
Yeah. I
think he just wants to make sure, with Frank only having one card left in his hand, I think AJ wants to make sure he just is able to kill whatever needs to get killed.
And, I think Ooze is the one that's going to buy out the Abrupt Decay. You see Domri Rat, that might change some things here for Sacher and how he wants to use his spells. Change things for Kelly as well, see what he can find moving forward.
So let's see, is he going to try to fight? That's going to be the question. You fight that Beast token attack with Scavenging Ooze?
I would be surprised if he's going to fight here.
I mean, you can activate your Mutavault and attack with everything. I think you fight. Obviously, it's risky, but...
Yeah, I mean, we're working with much better information.
He has been playing a little risky the whole game.
And that's what he's going to do. He's going to fight. I think we're going to see Abrupt Decay here. I might see Putrefy now.
Yeah, I think Putrefy is fine here.
I think Putrefy... Yeah, we can just go... I say we, but Sacher can Putrefy the Ooze, and then Abrupt Decay the Domri if he wants to. But he can also just attack with the Beast token and then trample over to take care of Domri too. Yeah, so he's got a lot of options.
Plenty of ways to deal with the Domri right now. He also has a Bonfire in his hand, I believe. So
yeah, and I like the fact that he can save a Putrefy like a Thundermaw Hellkite if one shows up.
Interesting. Frank just decided to randomly gain a life by removing one of the creatures in his graveyard, but now, if he draws a Scavenging Ooze off the top of his deck, he can't make it bigger. So I don't think that one life is going to matter as much as you potentially drawing another Scavenging Ooze. It's not like you're under any pressure right now. So I think that's a mistake that some players make sometimes, is that they just randomly start gaining life when they really don't need to. You have to think about what you could draw. Can you draw another Ooze? You want to get that guy up to at least a 3 or 4 power.
Olivia Voldaren, the draw for Sacher this turn. Does have 6 mana, so can play and shoot if he'd like to. Can play the Olivia Voldaren, take care of the Mystic, get the Beast token and the Domri Rod. Be incredibly efficient this turn. Also play a land tap. We'll see exactly what he does want to do.
Yeah, I can't imagine not attacking Domri right here.
Yeah, I think that's step 1 here, and he's just going to let Domri bite the dust. No blocks necessary, especially with Keswick Wolf Run out there. Blocking would be pretty poor there for Kelly.
I like playing the Olivia and just pinging down that elf right now.
That's exactly what you're going to see. Olivia Voldaren post-combat, going to shoot the old Elvish Mystic. You see Kelly's going to add some mana, not going to do anything with it though. Sacher going to play a Stomping Ground tapped and pass back the turn.
Yeah, this is great because now AJ, if he untaps, he can ping a dragon, which is a potential card he might have to worry about.
Yep.
And then steal it in the same turn.
Hot Match of the Fells finally does show up here for Kelly, but it's too little too late now. I think he needed to establish that much earlier in the game.
It would have been great on turn 3.
Yeah. He's had it for a very, very long time, but again, Huntmaster It's this card where, it gets much worse against Jund as the game goes along, unless you're kind of in the Jund mirror where you guys are trading removal spells back and forth on your creatures, but that's not the matchup that you're in. See Sacher staring at that Bonfire of the Damned in his hand still. He's got 7 lands. Not sure if he has an 8th. I think he does have an 8th in the second Keswick Wolf run. He can just go firing away now with Olivia Voldaren if he'd like. Does need to be a little careful because, something like a double, back-to-back Thunderbolt Hellkites could have cost him this game.
I like just killing the Huntmaster and attacking in the air for a 7.
Leave the Beast
or
token
6
back.
rather. Leave the Beast token back, and you have Putrefy for a potential Thundermaw. You're going to kill him. Like, there's really no reason to do anything else. Like, I wouldn't waste an instant speed spell right here.
Sure.
You don't want to potentially lose that Thundermaw. Or, maybe even Hellrider if things get out of control. But again, really, it's just Thundermaw.
Well, if you've ever played against or watched AJ play before, you know that he is very deliberate. Doesn't ever really do anything too hastily with his decision-making process. So he'll run the iterations through. He's decided to start this turn by attacking with Olivia. That's a 4/4, and that 3/3 Beast token. We might see some activations here before blocks for Olivia. You see him reaching for mana. Yep, and so there's shot number 1 on the Huntmaster of the Fells. What we might actually see here, which is kind of interesting, is he's going to shoot it, he might take it.
And that's fine, but you still lose the double top deck Thundermaw, right?
Yeah. And so, yeah, with the trigger on the stack, he's going to take the Huntmaster of the Fells. And I like this actually quite a bit. So he's going to take it, it's going to flip, AJ controls it, so now I'm going to take care of your wolf, and you're going to take 2 points of damage. So Ravager of the Fells belongs to Mr. Sacher for now, thanks to Olivia. See, Kelly draws an Arbor Elf for the turn to go along with his forest, so he is drawing pretty slim, and he says, Olivia, that is too much for me. He's going to pick it up. So AJ Sacher is going to win game number 1 over Frank Kelly. Jund up a game against Red-Green Aggro and cheesesteaks and hoagies and soft pretzels and whatever wood or ice happens to be.
Yeah, and I think Frank didn't really manage his resources the greatest in the beginning of the game. I thought he should have probably just committed a little more pressure to the board. Again, AJ did have that Bonfire the whole game, but I think there was one turn really where he just basically threw away the Hellrider and didn't get a lot of damage with it. And that, I don't know if it cost him the game, but I think it would have given more outs and maybe changed the way AJ plays some of those turns.
Sure. We'll go to sideboards. We'll start with Frank Kelly, as he's going to be on the play. As we're being informed on Twitter that wood or ice is the Philly way to say water ice. Duh.
What is water ice?
I have no idea.
Ice cubes, you mean?
Yeah, I have no.
Oh, is water ice the weird way to say ice cubes?
I don't know how they do things here in the Northeast. I'm in the Northwest. We just say ice cubes or water or
water ice
slushy. I'm not quite sure.
Where are we?
We're in Philly, baby. Home of the cheesesteak. Brotherly love. What's Frank Kelly got, my friend?
He's got Challenger Pyromaster, 2 Plummets, 3 copies of Burning Earth, 2 Volcanic Strength, 2 Fog, 1 Rurik Thar the Unbound, 1 Naturalize, 2 Ranger's Guiles, and 1 copy of Bonfire of the Damned. Now, obviously, Burning Earth is a card that this deck really wanted against decks like Blue, White, Red. Jund, you don't really always want Jund. You don't always want Burning Earth against Jund because there are times where maybe they can regain enough life where it doesn't matter and you can't put enough pressure on them. But on the play, I think it's worth bringing it in. I also like Challenger Pyromaster because it's another way to sort of attack through a Thragtusk. And Rurik Thar the Unbowed is another card that I think is pretty good against Jund just because they don't really have many ways to kill it other than Olivia that don't involve spells. So if you're in a position where you can get them and you can put enough pressure on them early on, Rurik Thar could just effectively burn them out. So I kind of like those cards. In the main deck, though, really there's not that much that you can take out. I personally don't love Domri Raid in this matchup. I don't like it in Naya. I don't know if anything's different for the red-green deck, but in general, though, all those creatures you have, I think, are just too good, and Mizium Mortars is a way to kill Olivia, which we just saw is very, very important. So I just don't think that you can afford to take out the Mizium Mortars. So my guess is I would probably just take out the Hellriders for the 3 Burning Earth and 1 Challenger Pyromaster, or maybe a combination of Chandra, and Rurik Thar. But yeah, really Burning Earth, Chandra, and Rurik Thar are really the only cards I probably want in this matchup.
Burning Earth obviously being the big one, and part of the reason that people are playing red-green aggro in the first place.
Yep.
So take a look at Sacher sideboard here. He's got an Acidic Slime. Take that care of that Burning Earth. Thank you very much. Or not. 5 damage. Going to be a lot. 2 Underworld Connections, a Doomblade, 2 Golgari Charm. That'll do a little bit better job of taking care of Burning Earths that he know are going to be coming in. A Tragic Slip, 3 Liliana the Veil, 2 Duress, 2 Pillar Flame, and 1 Rakdos's Return. So we'll see 2 Pillar Flames most likely join us. Don't think he's going to want Liliana the Veil here. Plenty of things for Kelly to be able to sacrifice. Discard, not really all that important in this matchup. Tragic Slip, of course, I do like. I do like Golgari Charms as well to be able to take care of Burning Earth and maybe catch some mana accelerants if it needs to be done. The Singleton Doomblade I like, and I would be a little surprised if the Acidic Slime came in. Just because, yes, it does take care of Burning Earth, but at the cost of 5 life. Yes, Sacher does have a couple basics in his deck in the form of 2 Swamps, so it could be 4, potentially 3 damage that he does take, but I think Acidic Slime is probably going to stay at home in his sideboard in this matchup.
I wonder if maybe he even wants to bring in the Burning Earth. I mean, obviously they're very good against blue, white, red, but maybe you just want to bring in Chandra, Rurik Thar, and maybe 2 copies of Ranger's Dial. I mean, being able to protect your Thundermaw or Hellrider can be really huge sometimes. So I don't know. I think I think on the play maybe you want the Burning Earth, but I wouldn't be surprised if maybe he changes up his strategy depending on whether or not he's in the player draw.
Well, here's a mountain. We're going to see, I think we're going to see a Flint Oak Boar, aren't we? Yes, we are. Going to get in for 3 here. And Kelly does have Burning Earth in his hand. I don't know if he has a 4th mana source in his hand. And if you see Sacher's hand right now, he's got a Kessig Wolf Run and some other things there. He's going to draw a card, which is a Blood Crypt, but he also has a Golgari Charm. So he has an answer to Burning Earth in his hand at this juncture.
He also has an answer to Arbor Elf right now. So let's see if he decides to actually kill the Arbor Elf.
Or save
afraid of possibly a turn 3 Hellrider. Because again, Golgari Charm is one of those cards, okay, do I care about Hellrider or do I care about the potential that he has a Burning Earth?
Yeah.
So what is AJ going to do here? He also has a Farseek, so he has a lot of decisions to make here.
And it's hard to pass up on the God draw.
Yeah.
Turn 2 Farseek. Ties the room together.
Looks like that's what he's going to do, get that Farseek going. So is Frank going to have the 4th land to get that Burning Earth in play and force AJ to take at least 2, or maybe he'll go for a basic here? Does he have a basic swamp?
He's got 2.
So yeah, he could just go for a swamp here. Play around Burning Earth to a degree. Yeah, Frank does not have a land.
It looks like he's going to grab Stomping Ground. Okay. So you see Frank's hand, he has an Elvish Mystic. Does not look like he has a 4th mana source. He's got Strangleroot Geist as well. He's got Mizzet Mortars hanging out there. But as you mentioned, most importantly, it's going to come in this way.
That is unfortunate. I was really hoping that Strangleroot Geist would come into play.
Yeah.
If he plays that elf, that means Golgari Charm is going to do some work next turn.
That or like a Bonfire the Damned off the top or something.
I can't imagine. It seems like he's doing everything different than he did the first game. In the first game, he was being very aggressive when I thought he should have committed more to the board. In this game, he's being less aggressive and committing more to the board and just exposing himself to cards like Bonfire and Golgari Charm. I don't understand it because like Strangleroot Geist is a great card to play there. Why not just attack for 5? You know? Now he's just getting totally blown out by Golgari Charm. He has only 2 mana in play.
Wow.
Now he can't even cast the Strangleroot Geist because he doesn't have double green.
Nice in the situation where he needs to peel lands and not spells, and that's the situation you'd prefer not to be in. Yes, he does draw a Stomping Ground there. Going to move down to 18. He can play Strangleroot Geist, but I'm kind of with you. You just want to keep the pressure on as much as you can because now he's getting himself in a situation where if he does draw the 4th land for Burning Earth, it doesn't even matter.
At this point, AJ is at that critical turn 5, or rather he can get 5 mana, so if he gets a Thragtusk in play, the Burning Earth doesn't even matter anymore. So let's see what AJ is going to do here. It looks like he does have 5 mana. They are all non-basics. However, you know, AJ's at 11. I don't think Burning Earth can really race a Thragtusk, especially when Frank just has a Strangleroot Geist in play. And one of his lands happens to be non-basics as well. So I think Frank probably regrets not getting that extra 2 points of damage in. The Strangleroot Geist would probably have been a 3 power now. And frankly, I don't even know if AJ cast the Golgari Charm.
Yeah, we're looking
at
there's
just one elf in play.
Yeah, we're looking at a much different turn.
Everything's much different there. He might still pull the trigger just because he'll kill an elf and be able to Tragic Slip the board, but in general, I don't know. I don't know what happens. I think he might just make a completely different play.
So there's a Thragtusk from Sacher. Up to 16 we go. And now he's got the better board position. He's got the 5-3 versus the 2-2. And Kelly does draw the land in a forest, so he can cast Burning Earth this turn. But again, how good is Burning Earth now And a little bit farther behind, he's got the Hell Rider too.
Yeah, he's got. I think the fact that he has Hell Rider and Mizium mortars makes it still reasonable play because AJ's, uh-oh, is that bonfire?
Smells like bonfire.
Looks like he's. I mean, it's not that great here with
yeah.
guys, so. But
this is not the best bonfire's ever been. It is bonfire, and he's just not even gonna. He's not gonna miracle it.
And it looks like he just has a bunch of spells in his hand. So what is he gonna do here? Can he afford to start swinging? That's the question, I think.
Two.
So he takes 2.
Oh, wow. That's a pretty good draw.
So that's a great draw there. He's going to take some damage, but he'll regain it. He'll regain the life.
And he'll have a big guy.
So now we can actually start attacking. He really needed a way to attack with that Thragtusk, and Scavenging Ooze does exactly that.
That's interesting, though, because we know that Kelly has mortars in his hand, and AJ can make Scavenging Ooze into a 4/4, but he can't make it into a 5/5, because I don't think he has another green source of mana. If he can make it a 5/5, I think this would be a lot better, as he's going to come across with a Thragtusk. That's going to be a snap, a block there, and we're going to see an activation. So Sacher is he's going to just try to push through a bunch of damage now. He's going to have to take 2 to do that. And we're going to see, he's going to remove that Strangleroot Geist with the Undying on the stack. Really good play there from Sacher. Looks like a bad block there from Kelly. Because, again, now he's super far behind on the board. Can't really do a nice job of taking care of Thragtusk. I think he has to kill Scavenging Ooze with the mortars.
Yeah, he can't even cast Hell Rider now.
Yeah.
Because Hell Rider can't attack. It's just going to trade with Scavenging Ooze, and then you're still left with dealing with the Thragtusk in play. So.
And the Strangleroot Geist drawn there for Sacher, for Kelly, but again, that doesn't matter all that much. You see Mortar's going to take care of the Ooze.
I think that's actually a pretty good draw for him because he's able to drop AJ down to 10, and now AJ again, I wouldn't say he's in a dominating board position right here because he can't really afford to take that much damage because the top deck, maybe if he thinks that last card in Frank's hands is a Thundermaw, maybe I don't want to drop to below 10 or below, so maybe that Strangleroot guys could hold that Thragtusk back a little bit. See what he does.
It's not holding it back.
Well, at least he's going to be able to get a block.
Yeah.
If he blocks here, then what's AJ going to do? Is he just going to force to get some damage in, take 2 to give it trample? What is he going to do?
He's staring at a Doomblade right now. He's got a Doomblade, a Putrefy, and a Bonfire of the Damned. That's his hand. You see the lands in play. 6 of them, one of which is a Kessig Wolf Run. Got perfect mana. He's got a Thragtusk. He's sitting at 12-ish Sacher. So how is he going to balance his life total and push through damage to try to get this game over with and cut the number of draw steps that Kelly has over the rest of this game?
Yeah, I still like AJ's position a lot. He can trample over if he chooses to. He's going to drop Frank down to, I believe, 9. And then he still has Putrefy and Doomblade up. He'll take 2 more, but he'll still be at 8. So he can potentially kill a Thundermaw. He can kill a Hell Rider. He can kill that Geist if he decides to attack. And then I don't think he has enough to kill him next turn. But either way, I think he's in pretty good shape because Frank doesn't have a lot of X spells that he can go straight to the face with.
Yep, that's the big part about that.
So is AJ going to activate? He's doing the math in his head now. That's the thing. He doesn't know, because the red-green deck has so many haste creatures, he's trying to just account for everything. Even though he has removal spells, it is going to cost them damage because of the Burning Earth.
Yep. That's the kind of the difficult situation because he wants to force through damage with the Wolf Run, giving trample, but he wants to figure out, is it time to do it right now or is it time to do it later? Am I supposed to hold up both removal spells? All that good stuff. That's the decision that he has to make. He's going to take 2 here from this.
Yeah, because you only take damage from Burning Earth when you tap for mana.
Correct.
So Kessig Wolf Run, the activated ability doesn't count towards that.
So Strangleroot Geist is going to get its Undying counter, so that's a 3/2 that's in play. Kelly's at 9. He draws his card, draws another Burning Earth. Now this gets even more interesting now. Are you supposed to play this one? Or are you supposed to Hell Ride? Both are pretty appealing.
4, 6, yeah.
Looks like he's going to Hell Ride. Okay. So Hell Rider's going to come into play for Kelly. He's going to try to move to his attack step, and I feel like Sacher is going to have a response.
So what can Sacher do here? He could potentially cast Putrefy. he can't take it. He has to kill one of these creatures. Otherwise,
yeah.
so let's say he uses Doomblade. He drops to 8. He kills the Hell Rider prior to damage, and then he takes 3. Drops to 5.
Here's the thing. So what he can do is he can let both guys attack into the red zone if he wants to. I think. So he lets both guys attack. 2 triggers, goes down to 8. Doomblade the Hell Rider, take 3, go down to 5, and then you get a Wolf Run activation. 1, 2, 3.
But why wouldn't he Doomblade prior to the trigger? Why wouldn't he just Doomblade the Hell Rider before even damage?
Because I think you want Kelly to attack you with both creatures, so you can kill him on the counter.
I think Kelly's attacking no matter what, though. That's the difference. I think even if you kill the Hell Rider, I think because that's the thing. If AJ uses Doomblade, he drops to 8. So then if Geist comes over, you drop him to 5. So AJ can't activate enough to kill him because Frank's at 8.
Okay. So I think it's Doomblade.
I think you have to
pre.
I think you have to do it pre. Yeah.
Is
he putrefy?
Putrefy. Huh.
So has to take 3. Maybe he wants to try to conserve his mana or use up his mana. Hey, I can't imagine not wanting to Doomblade first.
So looks like he's gonna take 2, go down to 8. Yep, so there's your Doomblade. Take care of your Hell Rider.
Hell Rider dies. And again, maybe Frank will decide not to attack, but I think he wants to attack here.
I don't think he can. He just dies on the counter attack. Oh, well, he goes to 5 then.
No, he'll drop him to 5. If he activates Wolf Run, he have to activate Wolf Run for 3, right?
Okay, yeah, you're right.
So he would have to tap 5 mana for that.
Yeah, you're right. Okay. I see it now.
Pretty lucky break for AJ because now I think he
fires off Putrefy here, right?
I think he just attacks. I think he just attacks because if Frank didn't block, I think he's gonna.
He did just draw a Dreadbore.
Let's see. Dreadbore. You want to make sure you don't die to a top deck Thundermaw, or AJ still I think is going to try to put Frank on a Thundermaw in his hand. So I think that's what he's playing around.
All right, Dreadbore this. Get that out of the way. Go down to 6. Swag Tusk in. Gonna put Kelly down to 3. So 6 to 3.
At this point, I don't think there's anything Frank can do. He needed to attack last turn in order to give himself some.
Frank draws a Stomping Ground to go along with that Burning Earth. And he's staring down a 5/3 World Beater. It's not a cheesesteak. It's not a hoagie. It's not a Wooder Ice. It's not a soft pretzel. It's a Thrag Tusk.
So even I still think Frank had to attack last turn.
I do too.
But either way,
still loses, I think.
AJ drew a 2-mana removal spell, so he still probably loses no matter what.
Yep, and that is it.
Extends the hand. Frank Kelly falls to 4-1, while AJ Sacher moves up to 5-0 with Jund.
5-0 with Jund. 5-0 with Jund. Yeah, it's really easy to just sleeve up a Jund deck and come to a tournament. Real tough guy he is, isn't he?
What a tough guy.
Yep.
Quite the innovator.
That's right.
Quite the innovator, AJ Sacher.